quick wins you often talk about is the self-assessment. Can you walk us through what that looks like for an organization that's never done it before? Because at face value, it sounds a little daunting, right? A simple term, self-assessment, we often think, oh my gosh, that's a big task. Talk about it.
One of the biggest problems with assessments is they're not always set or grounded in outcomes or expectations. So I always like to set that stage at first. I want to know what our future state is, and I want to know what do we want to be when we grow up? What does the future look like? Let's document that. Now we can do an assessment that can be grounded in facts. Now, don't get hung up on the future state too much because when you're halfway through this, you're going to decide you need to evolve that also. The second big foundation is understanding the risk tolerance. Some organizations are young and agile and don't need a lot of rules because that's going to stymie the growth of the organization. Other organizations are in heavily regulated industries that require a lot more rules and governance. That's going to affect your risk. So we want to document the risk level and we want to get everybody to buy into that. The third important thing before you start your assessment, somebody needs to know and understand NIST. Now they don't have to be an expert, but they have to get it. There's amazing amount of information on the internet, and NIST.gov is one of the best places to start with that. Even if you hire a third-party vendor to help with your risk program, it's still really important that you have a subject matter expert on staff. So the first step is I like to get a checklist. You can search the internet and find a plethora of checklists for your NIST program. Virtually every GRC tool has checklists built in. So if you already are HIPAA or FinTech requirements and you're using a tool to manage that, they're going to have a section for NIST. Or again, go to NIST.gov, click on Quick Start Guides, which is right there front and center, and they're going to have a couple different lists that you can use. Some organizations, an app is perfect. Other organizations, maybe just start with an Excel spreadsheet and start listing them there. I like to grade things with a 0, 3 to 5. I don't get hung up on the details as I grade them, but that creates a really good broad spectrum. Then I also like to have a part of my spreadsheet that has grading criteria. Why did I give this a 0? Perhaps we haven't started this. Or perhaps it's a 5 because we're actually experts in that particular governance control.